The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 WGBC invites you to the talk of all the towns in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This happens to be Candace.
I am.
The lady in black today.
I am.
What made you think of the black dress today?
It was just,
Anybody hear that?
she's wanting me to pick her up.
Oh, pick her up and let's show her, and then we'll let her go. This is the new addition to our family. This is Ellie. And Ellie is like a weed eater.
Mm-hmm.
Anything
she will
that
shred anything that is in her sight. Even
Bless
roll
her
of toilet
heart.
paper.
Yes.
It looked like it snowed all over.
she found a let's see, overnight she found, the styrofoam cups.
Mm-hmm.
I found about 8 of those that looked like little bitty confetti this morning. Didn't I, girl?
Yeah, she's sweet. She was wanting me to pick her up. She was whining. So.
Yeah, we'll let her go in a second, and because she'll whine probably all morning now. Bless her heart. How are you? It's Friday.
Yeah, I hope y'all are doing well today. It's a pretty day.
Somebody's going on vacation next week.
Yeah, I am.
Relaxing, a little time off.
Yeah, well needed for sure.
Are you excited, or are you just, well, it's just a day off?
No, I'm excited. I am. I just hope weather is okay, because I think it's supposed to be a little stormy.
We got somebody else excited over vacation. We got Ward Calhoun that's going to be joining us this morning, and he happened to bring along some pictures from his vacation. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, I might have to let her out in a second.
Ward has visited some pretty places. He's going to tell us all about that and what he did. It was a great-looking place. Mm-hmm. Now, we start this morning out. What happened overnight in Meridian? Well, somebody was shot. Yep, it happened again. Now, as we pull this up, let me show you map-wise where we are and what happened last night. We got reports of somebody that was taken to the hospital that was shot. They were. Frank Berry Courts is where this happened. This is 8th Street. We all know where the Gypsy Queen is buried. Mm-hmm. It'll be right over here in this area here. Frank Berry, that's where the gunshot happened. Detectives, the CID division, are investigating it this morning to find out what went on. Mm-hmm. We don't know if it was an argument or a drive-by, what the case may be. Maybe we'll get an answer to that here in just a little bit. So that's what happened last night. Let's see. We're going to let Ward talk with us in a minute about the threat to Lauderdale County. That's been a big topic. We'll find out more of him. Get it, as they say, straight from the horse's mouth.
That's right.
No one knows more about it than he would be.
You'll get the facts.
He's got cuffs and all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's lost his key yet or not. We'll find out.
Probably not. He seems real responsible.
You ever been in handcuffs?
I have not.
Would you like to be?
No, I don't want to be. No,
okay.
No, at all. No, thank you.
I brought this up earlier this morning. This is free. We're hearing more and more about this throughout the communities of people getting sick with COVID. I even heard of a whole Sunday school class going down with it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know whether it's heat, it's summertime that people are touching more, but people are getting sick. But if you're interested in getting a free kit, the government is giving them away. I've got this posted on our Facebook at Scotty Ray Report. You can go there, and all you have to do is click right here. You fill out your name and put in your address, and they deliver it to your home absolutely free. Mm-hmm. So if you would like to have a test kit at your house and have some, it's that simple. It takes maybe a minute.
Yeah, I think you put in the number of people in your household, and I want to say they send you enough tests for everybody.
Ooh, I didn't fill none of that out.
Mm-hmm.
I just put my name.
Yeah. Well, we
hurry, send it.
Yeah, we did that a while back. I got ours. So.
This is the third time the government has offered it. So even if you don't need them, I would get them for future use. Just have them in the cabinet.
Right.
Because sometimes they run out in town.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's, I've had a couple of people that on the weekend when the clinics might not be open at some point.
Right.
You just want to know. So.
Over the last 24 hours, it's been pretty calm other than the shooting and, and that other thing. But as we look at it as a whole, we have a sad news to pass along as we go south of here and we go to Jones County. A 14-month-old child drowned in a swimming pool. Just horrible for this to happen. Taken to the hospital, tried to revive. It didn't happen. And it's just sad. And we wish we could do more about that, but
yeah.
As I mentioned,
I feel for any parent having to go through something like that. It's awful. I wouldn't even
You know, we had a situation like that last week. I think it was in Lauderdale County that a 1-year-old was rushed to the hospital.
Yeah.
It made it, but a scary situation.
It is scary. Children are very quick to get away from you, and it's just like you have to have that eye on them at all times. It's scary.
As we look at it, and since we're just getting the bad news out of the way first, let's go ahead and talk about this. A 2-year-old was shot and killed also in the state of Mississippi, about a 15-year-old. And we look at the next thing that's happened is a Mississippi mother has been charged with abuse after her 1-month-old baby has died. This is going to be the Mississippi Delta where this happened at. Clarksdale, Mississippi. She's loud, isn't she?
You want me to let her out?
Bless her heart. Yeah, she's wanting to go play somewhere and chew some other stuff up.
Destroy some other things.
Yeah. Bless her heart.
She don't get a hold of one of these wires down here. We're doing good. You see the lights blink. That would be awful.
Usually, it's just like we joked about the other day about a kid sticking their finger there.
Yeah.
It only takes once to get shocked, and you learn from mistakes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she has learned that she should never go around Sophie when Sophie's got a milk bone that's hers.
Yeah, that would be a quick.
It was a lesson. It was
a quick lesson learned.
Yeah. Those are a few things that's happened around the state. We also learned, and I brought this up earlier, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're an officer of the law, you still have to abide by the law. We go to Gulfport, Mississippi to find out why. Whoops, somebody drinking and driving, and yes, it was a detective. Again, you're innocent until proven guilty, but it's not looking good with that little breathalyzer test. Yeah. On administrative leave, we'll find out more about that as that story develops there on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. You can't tell somebody to abide by the law and then you break it. Ward will tell you more about that. I'm sure he's dealt with cases like that and seen that across the state before. Yeah, a lot going on today.
It is. It's a lot going on. But I'm so happy that it's sunny. I just want the humidity to go. Because it's awful. You can cut it with a knife.
Yeah, we got the chance of severe weather tomorrow afternoon. It's going to come in about late 3:30, 4 o'clock. We're at a level 1. Thunderstorms can happen, possibly be severe. All that's on the way. We're expecting the most part of that to be just a little bit of wind and some heavy rain. No tornadoes or anything like that. Entire state of Mississippi and Alabama is under this level 1.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, boy, she's just all upset over that.
She is.
That's Ellie, for those who are just tuning in and hearing that. That's my pup.
The new addition.
Oh, good morning, little girl. She's licking my leg. All right, we got Ward Calhoun coming up next. Y'all don't rush off. He's got a lot to talk about. We're going to learn a lot this morning. It's all on the way here. Spring is here, and it's time to quit spending all of your weekend cutting grass when you could step up to a Skag zero-turn mower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Candace and our special guest.
Dusting off my dress. Yeah.
Well, you just go right ahead there. Yeah. It's Ward Calhoun. Hey, Ward.
Good morning.
Glad to have you aboard with us today. And you're just off vacation, aren't you?
Yes, it was nice.
Isn't it good to get away for a little while?
Nice. It was nice to get away. And one of the side benefits was a couple of days there. Actually was in a location that did not have cell phone service.
So nobody could bother you.
Well, they kept calling. When I got back into an area where I had service, my phone literally, I thought it was going to catch on fire.
It was blowing up.
It was blowing up. It was. I spent several hours returning texts and phone calls and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I was even in that mix.
You were
going like,
were.
Oh, yeah, I'm on vacation. I said, oops.
Yeah, I didn't tell anybody before I went. I just took off and,
it's good to do that.
Really needed to knew, but other than that, just left it alone.
So where'd you go? Where is this?
We went out to Estes Park, Colorado. My wife and I, there's a little bit of a short story here. So through the years, I have never really had a hobby. Some people do woodworking or hunting, whatever. I just never have. I've just been one of those people that just worked. And I tried playing golf, and that really didn't go real well.
I'm bad at that too.
Yeah, I traded my clubs, somebody or sold them to them, and I actually used the money to buy some leather gear when I started out as a reserve back in the early 90s. So I never really had a hobby. My wife's been asking me about having a hobby. And so about 3 or 4 years ago, I kind of got interested in hiking, and I knew she wasn't going to go camping with me, but she'd go hiking, day hiking. Yeah. So we've been all over Birmingham, been to Virginia, Carolinas, go for a weekend, kind of deal. And never spending the night, because the last time we went camping together, and I'm telling on her, we went to Okeechobee, and I had to take the mattress out of the folding couch, had to take the electric blanket, and had to take a 100-foot orange extension cord to plug it in. And so it's too much stuff to have to carry.
I get that.
She didn't like to be cold. So back last probably December or so, just saw online an article about a company out in Colorado that does what's called in Europe, as a lot of this goes on, and ultimately we want to go there, end-to-end hiking, INN, or like a bed and breakfast. And
okay.
So you get yourself there, and then they get your suitcase to the next one, and you walked it, whatever. We were in the Rocky Mountain National Park. And so this company kind of helps you get your stuff to the next location. So we were there for 5 days and walked 4 of those, did about 10 or 11 miles per day. Last day was about 8.5. And hiking, and it was gorgeous. We had a great time.
Well, let me show. I got one of these pictures. I want to share this of what this is. Look at this.
That is beautiful.
Oh, it was just.
Where exactly is that?
Gosh,
that's
great.
in the park, and I don't. That was Calypso. What's the name of that? I can't remember. Calypso something Falls maybe.
Well, here's another. This is this almost takes your mind away from everything that is going on. Look at this.
Yeah, that is. It just looks so peaceful,
It was great, and the irony I thought was the fact that the national parks apparently are still on a system because of COVID. Now you're outdoors.
Yeah, I agree with you.
In the wide open.
But
and speaking of, and tell me about this, because this just looks like one of these movie sets
it looks like
here.
Yellowstone.
Yeah.
It does. I mean,
that was a meadow in between 2 mountain ranges we were walking between, and the weather was great. It was that particular day. It was pretty hot. I think it was 78 or 79. I got sunburned that day because I didn't put on any sunscreen.
Oops.
Wife kept saying, and I kept going, it'll be okay.
Could you imagine living somewhere like that, to where you just walk out your back door and see that every day? I mean, that is just beautiful.
Yeah, it was great. We had a great time. It was a lot of fun. Food was good. Got to eat a bison burger. Ate an elk burger. We saw an elk. We didn't even get to the first trail before an elk walks out across the road. And there you go. Yeah, that was a picture I got out of the window. Uh-huh. And I mean, those things are big as horses.
Yes.
He just kind of walked down the road like he owned the place. Everybody just kind of stopped, and he just strolled across and stopped. And
now, do they have bears up there?
They do. Did not see any
Mountain
bears.
lions.
Saw bighorn sheep. Saw elk. Saw moose. Saw a moose and a calf. Matter of fact, I had a great video of a moose. They eat out of these, I guess you'd call them like small ponds.
Yeah.
Eating a lot of the grass and whatever grows in that small pond. I don't know what they're eating, but
I keep expecting Little Joe and Hoss to come. This other picture that you got, I keep expecting them to come riding off the hill here. Mm-hmm. Look at this.
Yeah, Bonanza, the Ponderosa.
Yeah.
It was absolutely beautiful. Had good weather. Rain one day. We were walking. I figured out how to make it quit raining when you're hiking. Just take the time to put your raincoat on.
Yeah,
you just do that, it will quit. But then you're going to be hot, so you just kind of have to trade off.
So how long did y'all hike around? How many days did y'all do?
We did 4 days. They feed you breakfast, give you a sack lunch, turn you loose. Of course, I have an app that actually works whether you have self-service or not. The All Trails app's really great. I do all our trails on it, keep up with where we go and what we do. And they give you a map and some pretty good instructions, and all you got to do is just kind of every day I'd study that, the night before for the next day, and kind of have that in my head.
I'm not trying to get in your business, but is things like that affordable? I mean, is it just like way out there, or is it where you could?
Very affordable. I mean, we're staying in. My wife, love my wife. She's a wonderful person.
Here it comes up.
She does not like going to places, kind of dirty or.
She likes a shower, like a Holiday Inn.
Look, I'm the same way.
Yeah, she's not going to do. She's not going to do anything. It's not. So I had to kind of warn her ahead of time. These are. Because with the last 2 nights we were at a place that was it kind of leans. It was built in the 30s. It's handmade logs.
Yeah,
and it's a great place, and everything was fine. But I was like, it's not going to be the Holiday Inn, Express we're going to stay in. It's a little different, kind of. It's somebody's home, bed and breakfast type place, and but it was fine. And so we stayed in those kind of places. And she was happy. Everything was good. She didn't met her standard. We were good.
So about when was it that reality sunk back in? Where were you, a mile marker or what, when you're coming back this way? You go, oh, yeah, it's work time again.
Yeah, no, really, it was like riding back to the airport when I got cell service.
It's ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I could the first 2 days I had service, I kind of keep up, send short texts, deal with a few emails, kind of handle stuff, But driving back to the airport, the anxiety kind of grew as closer we got. Like,
I bet so.
I got to go back. I wouldn't want to live out there. Like, nice to visit, but this is
home. Is home.
Home is home. That's right. But it was absolutely a wonderful. We had a good time, and it's very affordable for what they do for you. And luckily, I bought airline tickets way back in January.
Smart.
Way cheaper than they are now.
Whew, they're going through the roof.
They are.
And it is, the flying is so much easier. I mean, you can drive to Colorado, there's no doubt, but.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. That's
what,
just,
3 hours and you're there?
Yeah, I think, actually, the first day we flew out of Jackson at 6 in the morning. We were there at 10:20.
Yeah.
Flew to Houston, got another plane, got there. Of course, it's an hour time difference, but still about 5 hours total.
Yeah, and then you'd still be riding and going, where's the next gas station? I need to stop.
Yeah.
Quick.
So it's a great place to visit. Had a good time, and I will tell you this: altitude is a real thing.
I bet so.
I'd heard that, but I just kind of, you kind of go, it's not that big a deal. Live in Mississippi, I'm tough. Mm-hmm. Till you start walking up one of them hills, and then you go, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. Why can't I not breathe? They sell little balls of oxygen. It looks like just a regular something you spray a cleaner or something would be in. I'm too frugal. Some people would say cheap. I'm not buying that stuff, but something they had for sale. Because I'd get hooked on it. Then you want it. But the oxygen difference, the higher you get, is a big factor.
So well worth spending that extra couple bucks just having a bottle in case.
No, just slow down, take a breath.
All right, let me ask this. This is all over Lauderdale County. I've been questioned, and let me pull this up so everybody knows what we're talking about. This right here. Attack in Lauderdale County, and as I put there's no threat to the citizens of Lauderdale County. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we had a call that was on Wednesday where had a 911 call come in, a neighborhood in the Collinsville community where we had a person call and said they'd been attacked in their front yard. It was a situation where the attacker is a known individual in their neighborhood. Mm-hmm. It wasn't an unknown person. When deputies arrived, that suspect was taken into custody. Investigators were contacted. The victim was transported to a local hospital and has been treated, and still, my understanding, they're being treated.
So it was pretty rough there, whatever went on.
Yes, and the situation, the individual was in custody. There, what I think, from you and from a lot of times I have people sometimes say to me, well, why don't you get on Facebook right then and tell them? Well, we're not busy looking at Facebook when these things are going on. It's just it takes time sometimes for things to work out. Bottom line, what that was about, there was no threat to the community in general. It wasn't like there was this person that we don't know who it is.
He's on the loose.
He's on the loose. Somebody else could become injured. This individual was taken into custody by the deputies when they arrived. That person is currently receiving some medical treatment themselves, not from an injury that was sustained during this incident. And this person will be held accountable at the appropriate time. They will be charged, and we will move forward with that
So, and again, I just want to restate what you just said. There's no threat to anyone.
Correct.
They are no harm to anyone, and that is good news. And this was not provoked. This man was just attacked. And
it's my understanding, yes.
Yeah. So we hope that this is works out. We really do, and appreciate y'all getting on the ball and getting out there and handling it.
Yes. You know, the bigger narrative I would like to add to people is sometimes, you know, social media, like everything in our lives, there's good and bad and everything. You know, sometimes I can remember growing up, some people said TV's terrible, you know. Well, but TV's good when you use it for an educational purpose or you use it in a limited way for entertainment. It can be bad when all you do is quit going to work and you sit around and watch TV all day. Okay, so there's good and bad and everything. Same with social media and with information that gets put out there. Many times people, I think, have their motive is good. They want to help and notify others, and they use social media. But what they do is they put out information that is not correct, it's erroneous, or assumptions are made. And then the next person takes that assumption and they make an assumption. And it's the old game of telephone, if you've ever played that back years ago. The facts get lost somewhere in the mix, and there's information, and people are put into a situation where they're scared about something that doesn't even exist,
right?
Because of that. And so I just encourage people to not put things out that you haven't verified. You have to trust us enough to know that if there's something that everyone needs to know like that, we are going to get that out quickly. But the bottom line, there's always a first time for everything. You should always be aware of your surroundings. You should always be paying attention. And if you see something that doesn't look right, act accordingly. You know, get away from it, call 911, let someone know about it so it can be looked into, and we can make some determinations about what it is. Because there's always going to be a first victim for everything out there.
Correct.
You know, you think, though, like just being in your front yard, you know, and you just wouldn't think that you would be attacked like that. That's just scary.
You wouldn't. And normally that's a very rare occurrence.
It is rare, I would imagine. Yeah.
But again, it's about always, you know, paying attention to your surroundings no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Because your wife can slip up on you at any given time with a shoe.
Exactly. And sometimes you may need that, or you might even deserve that.
Because it was my understanding that he was cutting his grass, correct?
I do know he was. I was not there. I do know that he was in the yard. He was doing some type of yard work.
Right. Because I know when you're focused on doing something like that, you really kind of tune everything. You know, you kind of just tune everything out. But
sure. And again, a very unusual set of circumstances, not the norm in any stretch of the imagination.
Right. But the good thing is that they did get who did it and taking care of it. So
y'all did a great job on that.
We do hope that the guy is okay. We hope that the man is going to be okay.
Last I heard, the victim prognosis was good.
Good.
Things were, you know, he was improving, and prognosis was good.
But and I want everybody to know, when I post something, I've checked with y'all numerous times. I either get in touch with you or Billy, and we're going to have accurate information that comes directly from the sheriff's department. I do not post rumors, and I will not do that. I'll wait till I find out something. Mm-hmm. So if it comes from here, it's coming from the sheriff's department on that. Now, let's talk about something else that criminals really like to do is visit parts of the county in stolen cars and go bother other stuff and take things that aren't theirs.
Yes, sir.
Just help themselves.
Hate a thief. It is frustrating as it can be. And so, you know, you have to control the things you can control. And so I spent a lot of time and have through the years and will continue to try to motivate people to take care of themselves. There's never going to be enough law enforcement. You don't want there to be enough law enforcement that we watch everything that you do, because then we would be living in a place that wouldn't be America.
That's true.
So, that being said, we do need you to be the eyes and ears, but you also are your own first line of defense. And how you do that is by, again, paying attention to what's going on around you, doing the simple things such as locking your car doors, not leaving valuables inside your vehicle, guns, purses, computer bags, those kind of things. I try to encourage people to say, think like the bad guy. If I come up to your car and I see a computer bag in there. As a bad guy, I go, oh, there's a computer in there. If I see a gun holster that's empty, but it's sitting on the seat, what do I think's in the car? I think there's a gun in the car. So don't leave things that your car should be disinteresting to them. They ought to look in there and go, I don't see anything, then move along. Not always, but the vast majority of time. These car burglaries, they are going house to house. They're going in unlocked vehicles. They very rarely do they break into a car. Why? Because many cars these days have alarms, and it makes noise. They'd rather just go to your neighbor's house who has an unlocked door and go through their car, and they're stealing guns and sunglasses and purses and computers. And I call it the magic bubble. People get home, and I understand you want it to be this way, but it's not. Where they drive in their driveway, and I'm home, and I'm safe, and I really don't have to do anything. I can just leave my car unlocked, leave my keys in the ignition. Not a good idea. Because while it may never happen to you, it's just that opportunity. Our criminals in our community, they are not mastermind thieves. They are simply looking for the opportunity, and if you leave it for them, they're going to take it.
And interesting that you brought that up. I had a lady call me not long ago, and this happened in the city limits of Meridian. It was not in the county, but just off of North Hill Street. She'd gotten off work, and if you were to go south 2, 3, 4 blocks, something like that. She got off work. She pulls in her driveway. Her son jumps out of the car, runs to the house, and she's got a bag of groceries. And she's walking towards it. And the next thing you know, there's 2 people on her street shooting at one another. She dropped her groceries, and, she said in her mind she was safe because she was home and her child. She goes, now I look at everything so differently. And she goes, never again will I let my child just jump out the car and run around in the yard. I'm going to know what is happening in the street as I get out. We live in a different world now, don't we?
We do. And I had somebody tell me one time after one of these presentations, they said, basically what you're telling me is you want me to live paranoid. And I said, no, I want you to live prepared. Mm-hmm. Simply be prepared. Pay attention. It's all that it takes. And the good Lord gave all of us a sixth sense. We see things, we hear something, we know something's not right. The key is to then act on that. Don't just keep looking, going,
right.
Or, of course, these days, a lot of people want to get one of these out. Let me get my video. What you need to be doing is moving along, finding somewhere safe to get to, making that phone call to 911, providing good, accurate information to the 911 dispatcher so we can get someone there to deal with that situation. Mm-hmm. Now, if you are a concealed carry permit holder or any of those kind of things, or you are trained and you find yourself in a situation that you can't remove yourself out of, or you feel the need to protect yourself or others, then you need to be trained to do that and be prepared to do that. And there are a lot of people in our community who I believe are. I talk to people, they'll talk with me and we'll talk about that because I encourage them, if they're going to be that kind of citizen, to make sure they are prepared to do it and they are trained to do it, because you don't have time to sit around and think about it and never introduce a situation, never introduce a firearm into a situation that you're not prepared to take action. Because one of the things about bad guys, street bad guys and girls, they can read you very quickly. And if they sense a hesitation and that you won't do something, you may find yourself in a confrontation where they take your firearm from you, and then you really got a problem. So we kind of went down a different road there than where we were headed.
That's fine.
But I really encourage people, be your first line of defense. That's just paying attention. And I know that sometimes seems like, well, I'll not have to do that, but yeah, throughout human history we have. Because back in the day when you lived on the frontier, there was no sheriff's department coming to save you. You were taking care of yourself. Now, we're not to those days. We do live in what is called a civilized society for the most part, and we are there to take care of you, but we can't be everywhere. You being that first line of defense is the first thing for you and your family.
Got more coming up with Ward. Y'all don't rush off. I got some more questions in a situation that happened in Kemper County, and we'll get your thoughts on that. That's coming up in just a moment. Let's turn to our friends over at Maple's One Stop Shop. If you need gas, it's where they're going to be today at an affordable rate, the lowest they can give you, and breakfast. Yep, a lot of folks. I think the judge is out there this morning getting him some grits and eggs. Go by and visit them. They got some great bacon. I love bacon. Of course, the menu is going to be released here in just a little while there. You can get that at the Chevron store or out at Causeyville, all of those places, along with a hot coffee program. That's a loyalty coffee, rather.
It
5
is.
cups. That 6 one's free, Candace.
I know. It's good to get something free every now and then.
It is. Cold drinks and a lot more. Candy bars. Oh, if you need a bag of potato chips, just make it through the day. They've got it, including pizza. Oh, see it? Get that. May be your lucky day for a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
You never know. See them again. They got 6 locations around town: Bonita, Pine Springs, Causeyville, or you can drop into the Last Chance Tobacco, Broadmoor, or 31st Chevron. See them today. They'll be glad to help you. Visit with them. They'll tell you more.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, day beds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
Always something at the Back Porch to go look at. Interesting place if you hadn't been by there yet and visited with them.
Very neat place.
It is.
A little bit of everything there.
Good morning. Now, the next subject, and this doesn't include your county, but I thought we'd bring this up because it is so close to us, and we want everybody to heed warning on this. And the way to word this, I spoke with Sheriff James Moore just a little bit ago, about an hour ago before we went on. There's been a report that possibly someone pretending to be a police officer. He confirmed that a call was made to the dispatch in Kemper County. What we have is it was a white male, Highway 39, possibly in a pickup truck. I think the color of the truck was red, got behind a female with a light. Pulled over, she called 911. She got away from the guy.
Like a blue light.
Yeah, a blue light or some form of a light on the dash. Now, that's what was called in. Now, I don't want anybody to panic, but make sure when somebody gets behind you, it's law enforcement. And this is where you come in. What I wanted to ask you, Ward. Now, we all know that we've had this situation years ago, Meridian turned bad. What do you do if a light comes on behind you and you're not sure who it is and what's going on? What do you do?
Yeah, what we tell people and what our officers understand is that if a person, and I always let me put some curbing here.
Okay.
You see the car. It's one of our cars. It's a Meridian Police Department, Meridian, and it is a marked unit. Then you need to be pulling over. There's no doubts about what's going on there. We're talking more about an unmarked car. We do have lights in several of all of our cars. It could be an investigator, drug task force. They're going to turn their lights on. They're going to call that tag in to dispatch. If you have some doubt as to whether or not that is a law enforcement vehicle, it's perfectly fine to continue to drive the speed limit and to go to the next, like a street light if you were in town, or a well-lit, a store or something. You can put your hazards on. You could call 911 and say, I'm being pulled over by a pickup truck. My name is, whatever your name is, I'm driving, whatever it is, and I'm on such and such road. The dispatcher's going to know about that, or if they don't, depending on how much radio traffic's going on, they're going to key up very quickly and ask, is there, any units on whatever the road is, and they're going to respond, and then that dispatcher can say, yes, that's one of our whatever, and one of our investigators, and just simply pull over and just like you would any other type of stop. Those kind of occurrences happen at times. We've had it before reported. It's been a long time since we've had one of those situations. But it's certainly, as I said earlier, is always that first time. So if you have some suspicion, then that's okay to do that. Now, let me back up.
Okay.
if you just ran through the stop sign, you know it, and they light you up, and you go, well, the next well-lit place is I'm going all the way down to the police department, and you're in Bailey, there's going to be a problem when you finally get stopped.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is not you get to just keep driving as long as you want to kind of deal. Don't make that mistake. But you should go to the next well-lit place, pull over, and then follow the instructions from the officer. And it's perfectly okay to call 911 and say, hey, I'm being pulled over. As I said earlier.
That's probably a real quick, it tells you yes or no right there.
Exactly. And that will take care of it.
Did you, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot because this has never happened in Meridian, but did you see the video a few years back that come out of Louisiana of the lady that was on the bridge that was being followed? And she slowed down, put on her emergency lights, and it was on a long bridge. And she just kept easing along because there wasn't a place to pull over. And I'm assuming, just an assumption here, that it was a new officer, and he did the pit maneuver and rolled her car.
I don't remember that particular incident. Yeah.
But that was a bad one. I think she had called 911 and said, hey, I'm being followed, and he took her out. And it had to be somebody that was new, that was not experienced.
Yeah,
rarity that something like that could happen.
Yeah, that would not be you have to use a little. We have to use a little common sense, and the officers are trained, and we try to reiterate those kind of things as we do our trainings about how citizens are going to react to what we do. So.
Next question is: have you ever pulled over a naked man? I mean, he's a real popular person here.
I would remember that.
I'd heard he was spotted again this morning.
He was.
I heard the same thing, and I do not know who this person is. I know that there's an individual who's been charged a couple of months ago, the city charged. I don't know that it's the same person. Maybe not. Maybe it's a copycat,
Yeah, we did have a copycat last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I can't say for sure.
It's interesting. It is interesting that somebody, okay, it's hot. I can see somebody say, okay, it's hot, I'm going to take my clothes off.
Right.
All right.
A shirt.
But then to go running while that doesn't seem to work.
Look, when it was 30 degrees, was he not running?
Oh, yeah. He would run naked then.
You had to warm yourself up. So, I mean, there's, I can kind of go with that one, but I don't know about that. So.
But, and he just loves one part of town. He just loves North Hills.
Tells me he lives close by.
He does.
He does.
We need what was his name? Ray Stevens, The Street.
Yeah, The Street.
Mm-hmm. We need that music playing.
Ethel!
Don't look Ethel.
I think for the next charity, we need to sell some Naked Man T-shirts because he is a popular guy in Meridian.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
A few of the things that are happening.
Let me say, I am not the naked man. Like with Batman, I am the Batman.
Yeah.
I am not.
Let me ask this because you have to really, as I sit here, I put myself in the place of a law enforcement officer. How do you handle arresting somebody that's naked? I mean, what do you do?
Well, there are two things going on when that happens. Either somebody's pulling a prank, which happened, I remember back at a high school here back 18, 19, 20 years ago. The only problem was that day we had a young deputy who was as fast as a gazelle, and he caught him. And he didn't think that was going to happen. Or two, you've got somebody that's got some mental health issues going on of some kind that are, they're doing that. And of course, in this brave new world that we live in, that is a misdemeanor offense. They're not going to get booked in jail. They're going to get a ticket, a citation, and told put your clothes on. Now, worst case scenario, you could contact the judge. The judge could put a bond on that, especially if it was a second offense kind of deal. But in our new world and the directions that have been given by our legislature, and those are the ways we do things.
Would you put rubber gloves? I mean, I really would want to.
Yeah, definitely. And I need to correct that. Actually, some of that that's not just our legislature, but the rules of the court through the Mississippi Supreme Court when they gave guidance on things like bonds and those kind of things. So. Mm-hmm. Make sure I clarify that. I don't want our legislators to get mad at me because I said that.
Dawn says she lives over near North Hills, and she's seen naked man, and I cannot repeat Denise's remarks. That's funny, but we can't play the Michael Jackson song.
So do people, I guess cops and the city and the county, just put it like that. Do they have different areas certain areas they patrol at all times? It's like, is there a certain, I guess, officer that
Well, there's a
patrols the
beat.
north? Yeah,
Yeah,
the North
the-
Hills area. Maybe he should carry like an extra change of clothes with him at all times. So if he has to
Jumpsuit.
pull him over, it's
I don't know that
put
it'd
this
work.
on.
I mean, it sounds like you're just going to take those off too.
A blanket.
I noticed a question real quick on
loincloth.
here that I thought we ought to jump on real
Okay.
quick. Somebody asked a question about, did you have to have a permit for a firearm? And in Mississippi, you do not. We're what's commonly called a constitutional state. You have the right to have that firearm unless you're precluded from having it. In other words, like you're a convicted felon, for example, that can't have a firearm. But if you can have a firearm, you can have it on your person. You can have it, well, let me back up off that. You can have it in a bag, a satchel. I don't remember the exact words of the statute. If it's not, best way is if it's not concealed on your person, like in a waistband covered by a shirt, you don't have to have a concealed carry permit. You can have a holster on as long as a reasonable person can see that that is a firearm. You do not have to have a permit to do that. You can carry it in your car. You can certainly have it in your house or your business or going between any of those locations without any problems. Now, the only thing you have to think about is if you get ready to go into a business and they have a sign up that says, no firearms, or have a symbol for no firearms, and you enter their business, they certainly have the right to tell you to leave. And then if you don't, you're trespassing and you could be charged with that. Just encourage people to be responsible gun owners.
So you can put one in your purse, though.
Yes, you can, because it's not on your. Used to, you had to have a concealed carry permit for that, but not any longer. When they changed the law about 4 years ago, maybe 5, I don't remember exactly when, but you could have it in a purse, backpack, satchel.
Yeah.
It's
Man purse.
a merce. You can have you one,
purse.
Scotty Ray. It look good on you.
More
I know.
coming up.
Keeps your makeup in there too.
Well, they make purses for women also that have the built-in holster. So
Yes.
Y'all get you one. More coming up with Ward as we travel through this Friday morning. I hope your day is going. It's all up and coming. As the days get hotter, Sanders Gas reminds you to get your air conditioner tuned up. Sanders Gas can repair or replace your whole unit, whichever you need. Talk to Sanders about a tankless water heater now and never run out of hot water. Find out how easy and affordable it is to cook on gas stoves. And those backyard barbecues are coming. Don't run out of gas. Get yours refilled today. Sanders Gas, since 1946, 611 26th Avenue South, 601-693-4054.
It's just as important for a family to have their yard mowed before a birthday party as it is for someone to get hay out of the field before rain comes. They're both that important to us.
Dealing with parish is not just a product, it's the people that are there to help you. They're kind of like family, and it's just kind of like having another partner out here on my land.
Out at Center Hill this morning is where you'll find Chet and his gang. They've already got through with their coffee. They're hard at it already, sanding, painting, getting everything ready. Drop in and visit with them. Find out why a lot of people use them. It's the trustworthiness, the honesty that brings people back time and time again, incident after incident. If you got a small scratch, they'll do that too. It doesn't have to be necessarily adhered to a dance on top of your car or somebody bumped into it. They'll fix it either way. But T-bones happen. You'll be sitting and next thing you know, you've been hit unexpectedly. They'll put your car back. Cars cost too much money nowadays to go, I don't want that anymore. You got to have it put back to those factory specs to where your paint matches. Looks good. Chet's qualified. They do that. Ask anybody that's used him. From classic cars to, well, the one that you drive every day, they've got it. Chet's Paint and Body, well, they'll publish all of your stuff, take care of your insurance work, get you going. 737-2961. Drop in and see Chet. You were telling me that I had a gift, and you ate it the first time, and now Ward's finished it off. Now I don't have... How could y'all do this?
Wait a minute, don't now. See, I've been accused of. I've been falsely accused.
Yeah.
What you got?
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say good morning, Miss Mary. Good day. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. And Scotty Ray whined so much about not getting any tea cakes. Miss Mary sent you your very own tea cakes that she made especially for you. She did.
Actually, that's just...
And they are so good.
all
And
that's
I
in
didn't eat
here is
any.
toilet paper rolls. It's made it to make it look like there's cookies in here.
He is telling a story. Look
I
at this.
appreciate that.
I have to show them because
Okay, show 'em.
if you've never seen tea cakes,
Show us what a tea cake
she
is.
sent you a little note too. Look at this.
That's
See
not
this?
little.
These are wonderful. Melt in your mouth.
Well,
tea cakes.
thank you. They used to call that something different at
famous
Northeast
tea
High
cake.
School, and they take the spoon and you remember those Ward County schools where they take those cookies and press down and put the design in it?
I think she presses them down a little bit. But
Didn't they drag a fork across them?
Yes, a
Like
fork
something-
where they put
something.
the-
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
There was something like that. But thank you
You'll
so
be hooked-
much.
You'll be hooked on them.
Will it be?
Yes, she will.
That was
You have to
sweet
have
of
more.
her.
It is. She's wonderful.
Well, what else is going on recently that as a citizen, you're sitting around? What are the major crimes that are happening in our area? What do we need to be aware of as we talk about surroundings?
Well, of course, we've had the scams going on, and it's nonstop. It just it's frustrating for folks out there as it is for us. Because every now and then somebody will fall victim to this. Many of them they'll call you on the phone. While I was actually on vacation, there was somebody calling, posing as if they were me or my brother John, saying that they had missed jury duty and we were on our way to come arrest them, and they were actually leaving voicemails. Somebody sent me one of the voicemails, with a phone number that's not our phone number. It's a burner phone. We tracked it out to California. There's no way to know, to find these people.
Correct.
And so whatever it is that you get the call about, because they come up with something new all the time, know that the police department, sheriff's department, no one in law enforcement, no one is going to call you and say, we have a warrant for your arrest. Oh, by the way, the judge said if you just pay this money over the phone, we won't come embarrass you by your name being in the paper and picking you up at your office or your place of employment, whatever they tell you. First of all, don't talk to them. I encourage people, do not talk to these people. Now, in this case, they were leaving voicemails as well, and people were calling them back on these strange numbers. Mm-hmm. Our number, we have a website, lauderdalecountyso.org. It's out there. You can Google it. You can find our website. Our numbers are on there. We're not going to be calling you from some strange number. So if you do talk to some of these people or get a message, know that it's not legitimate. Never give them PayPal, credit card, any of those kind of things. Go get a green dot card. Don't do any of those things. It is a scam. We are not doing that.
All right, explain this one, because I see this a lot and I've had to correct it, put it online that it's fake. But what are they doing here recently, and it's across the southern states, of listing someone, there's a killer loose in Collinsville. I've seen this one. And they put a picture of a guy, and it's in every town.
Yeah, I don't know. And I have no idea. Well, other than it's just, again, what we talked about to begin with, this misinformation that many good people think they're helping by putting it out, but they haven't verified this information. All they're doing is creating chaos in the community that's unwarranted, because it's not even legitimate. It's not a valid concern that people should have.
We were talking about this a while ago when I mentioned that about sketchiness here and there going on. A lot of people think because we live in the county and not in the city that you're safer in the county, but it really, it's really not super safe anywhere right now. I mean, you want to feel like you're safer out in we called it the country back in the day, but like some people still leave their doors unlocked, and we've had people coming up and asking, and used to you wouldn't think anything about somebody coming up and saying, hey, can I fish in your pond, or stuff like that. But you really have to be aware about everything like that, And
it was her next door neighbor that asked her to go fishing. She shot him down.
No, but actually a neighbor down the road, which happened to be somebody, a single lady, living by herself, or, somebody come up and ask, can I fish in your pond? And I just wouldn't even go to the door. If you don't feel safe or feel comfortable, I just wouldn't even answer the door.
Well, let me give you a little hint on that one. Mm-hmm. At least from what I know from through the years with people that burglarize houses, quite often their first thing to do when they go up to a house is they'll knock on the door.
Right.
And they're doing that to see if somebody, I call it the reverse burglar alarm. They're looking to see if somebody's home. Mm-hmm. I tell people, unless you want somebody coming in, sitting on your couch, propping their feet on your coffee table, or sleeping in your bed, in your guest room, you don't want to open that door. But what you do want to do is let them know you're there. And you can do that by, simply going to the door and go, yes, what do you need? Somebody says, oh, well, my car's broke down, or somebody's had a car wreck or I'm hurt or whatever may be said, that's when you simply say, I'm calling 911. Or I tell people sometimes you ought to just say, I've already called 911. They're on their way. If they've got a legitimate need, they're going to hang around. If they don't, they're going to get gone quickly. And that's your clue that you do need to call 911, because chances are what they're doing is they're looking to see if somebody's at a residence to break into it. We need people to call us for those kind of things. We need good witnesses, good car description, direction of travel. Who came to your doors, male, female, what were they wearing? Were they white, black? Give us something to work with.
Yeah, I know the other day there was an incident where it was somebody kind of had been a different car that was not usually in the area, was coming through the area in one of the community areas. And they had actually told somebody they were a private investigator. I don't know what to believe when somebody says something like that. I just know I would just be aware,
Yeah,
it
shouldn't open the door for anybody, whether they say they're a private investigator. They may be, but why are they there?
Right.
What are they doing? Because there are people who do that type of work who are following somebody. Usually it's a situation, husband, wife, and they're trying to catch them cheating and all this kind of stuff.
That's kind of dangerous, though, in this day and time, to be something like that. Yeah. Do they have to notify, if somebody is a private investigator, are they supposed to notify law enforcement that they are actually doing that kind of work?
They do not.
Okay.
Because it's private, it's undercover.
Yeah.
But, law enforcement,
Yeah,
you would
they don't. But.
Because of what?
Yeah, well, when people are kind of sneaking around people's homes and stuff, it's scary.
Do you think it would have worked out for Magnum to have called every time he was going to do something? Come on, folks.
Well, I'm just saying, in this day and time, somebody will, take matters in their own hands if they feel threatened.
More coming up with Ward this morning as we get this day started. It's Friday, and Snowden & Company is there to get you started when it comes to your home. The biggest investment most of us will ever make. There's so much to choose from. 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. How do you go about it? Snowden is there. Honest folks here in the community. And if you've never dealt with Amanda and her staff, I urge you to do that. Visit them online, snowdenrealestate.com. Some folks here that's visited with them. Now, you can travel all over. See what they've got right there on the internet. They're open till 5 p.m. today. They're closed tomorrow. You make an appointment to do that, but closed on Sunday for good there. But anywhere from the areas of Clark, Neshoba, Newton County, even over to Jackson. Here's Dalewood there. Go there. Of course, Flowood, Brandon, if you're looking for a home, moving to either place, they can take care of you. It's affordable. They'll tell you all about it. You won't be surprised by the paperwork. And it's a bunch of paperwork when buying a house. They'll explain it all to you and make it simple. So all there, Snowden & Company Real Estate. That's Linmore out in Meridian. Visit with them. See them. Find out why so people use them. Again, this is Amanda and her sales staff. Call them today, 601-453-3937, right here in the area, and they'll help you out.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Spring is here, and it's time to quit spending all of your weekend cutting grass when you could step up to a Skag zero-turn mower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk. I don't know if I mentioned, but I think we should bring it back up again. Heat index is going to be around 105 to 106 this afternoon in the heat of the day. That normally happens anywhere from 1 to 3 p.m. So be prepared. You're going to go to sweating. Yes. Not the day for your corduroy jacket. And I know Ward wanted to wear his, but he left it at home.
And make sure your pets are, have water and a shade to get under. So.
We've got a minute or two here. Let's talk about the process of, say somebody gets arrested and they get bonded out. I know a lot of people, I've seen them get upset over people getting bonded out. Can you kind of explain that process?
Yeah, in our system of government, law enforcement, our job is to, when a crime has occurred, is to investigate that crime, if a crime occurs in our presence, make an arrest. So if we arrest someone, let's just say, for example, your home was burglarized and, a guy was crawling at your window with a TV and I happened to be driving by and a neighbor had called or whatever the situation is, and we end up with you at your house and got Candace. We'll let her be the bad girl today.
Okay.
Candace crawling out the window with your big screen TV, okay, and we arrest her and charge her with burglary. She is. We're going to prepare a warrant. We're going to prepare an affidavit. Typically, the victim signs that affidavit, and then we're going to go in front of a judge. Going to go to a judge, and the judge is going to read that affidavit. He's going to determine that affidavit meets all the criteria for a warrant to be issued, and the person, the affiant, who's filling out that affidavit or who's signing that affidavit. Typically, we're going to help them to complete the affidavit. They would sign it. They would swear to it. The judge then reviews it. The judge then issues a warrant. He signs it. The affiant, is sworn under oath that this is accurate information. And the judge, and in our case, in our system here in Mississippi, a justice court judge, and we have 4 of them. They're elected officials. They set what is called a reasonable bond. Reasonable is a big word.
Right.
There is no. It's a burglary, it's $5,000. It's a murder, it's $100. There is no scale. So a bond is set based off the information that they have, or they determine that. We don't, law enforcement. It's not our job to do that. Put the bond on there. That person then is booked into jail. They have this bond. Now, the only time they would not get a bond, there are certain crimes, capital crimes, where you don't get a bond. Or if you're out on a felony bond and you allegedly commit a new crime that the potential for a prison sentence is 5 years or greater, then you don't get a second bond. Actually, what happens is that first one is revoked and you sit in jail until there's a disposition on your case. But we hear people get mad at us sometimes and go, why is this person, he's a murderer and he only had a $50,000 bond, but this guy sold marijuana and he had $100,000 or whatever. Well, it's probably 2 different judges. Could have been 2 different set of circumstances. It could be that the one that had the higher bond has been arrested 10 times and the judge knows that, have a lengthy criminal history, and this other person is a one-time first-time offender. So there are other factors that go into this, and the judge makes that determination. And then many times the judge will set a bond, and then they'll have a bond reduction here, and a week later, and what was $100,000 may get changed to $50,000. So there are changes that happen all the time.
Thanks so much. We want to thank everybody for joining us. You have a great vacation.
Thank you. I'm going to try to. And I hope everybody has a wonderful week next week. And I will see you back the following week.
Yes.
I will.
Find an air conditioner. You've even got one in your car that you'll give a ride on. We want to say thank y'all so much for being a part of this. Ward, we'll see you next trip.
Y'all have a blessed day.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: